Interesting. Hey, baby. Your internet's not working.
What?
Okay, your internet is not working. Irritating. Morning, Levy. How are you doing today? Sorry, my phone is being finicky. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. We'll go to here. Oh! That is loud. Okay. There we go, and we will just set this over here. There we go, and we will just set this over here. I'm doing actually just back on this account. So, be that as it may. Hi, Levy. Interesting. This is definitely odd. Hey, Nutty. So let's try this. I love tacos. Tacos are good. I don't know why lately I have had craving issues for Taco Bell. I'm not sure why. Thank you for the Hermie. So here we go. And we'll just leave it alone and let it do its thing. So I don't know if anybody else has experienced the same issues, but TikTok's not doing its job anymore. Hi, Blue. Yeah, so for right now, I'm back on my primary account. I have set up alternative ways to record my live. Because for whatever reason, even though they claim that somebody violates a community guideline, they don't supply you with proof of what you've done. Like, it'll load, but it'll say an error. And then the video and everything that you recorded is lost. So ultimately what I'm doing is I'm screen recording my own live in order to keep my content, as messed up as that is. So yeah, I'm officially back on this account for right now. Yeah, Blue, I still stuck with my same schedule. I just use the alternative page. Nothing much, but I don't know you enough to call you brother. Hi. Oh. Bye. And that's about the correct energy that needs to be approached the entire live. I would like to keep my account up and running. And if TikTok isn't doing its job, then I have to take the necessary precautions to make sure that I take care of my account. So, but yeah, I've just been using the best thing that I can say is up in the bio. What filter? There is no filter. I don't use filters. Think so. Not traditional food, Nutty, but I did. You're welcome to an all-you-can-eat buffet. So how is everybody doing? I know it's been a long week. Most I can refer you all to is my my beacon. That pretty much has everything else on it. Good morning, Krista. I need to garden this morning. I love gardening. Gardening's great. This week so far, like I said, I had a couple estimates that I had to go out and do. I pretty much have those set up and scheduled for days that I don't go live. And other than that, I've got some weird thing going on with the treadmill that I use. It keeps wanting to time out. I put that video up this morning, so by all means, if somebody knows how to fix the problem, let me know my messages are open for everybody. But for whatever reason, it'll run for an hour and 39 minutes. And then it'll just completely cut off. And I have to restart it. And it's not that I can't restart it. I can restart it. But it's the getting back to your pace. I don't like when it throws off my rhythm. I just don't. But yeah, other than that, today is, let's see here. Today being Thursday is my 6-mile walk. So because of that, and I don't want a repeat of yesterday. Yesterday I walked 4 miles because I've upped the pace. I walked 4 miles before it timed out. And then I had to get back in my rhythm and then do the rest of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 miles and then turn off the machine and then turn it back on so I can do the other 3 miles. And I think starting Sunday, just every single day I'll just do 4 miles. Because that's just before the machine itself cuts off. And by actually doing 4 miles every single day of the week, I'll still actually end up getting in more miles than I was originally getting before. No, but I like fruit salad. It's good to eat healthy. Let's see here. My nephew had my nephew and my niece had a kickball tournament. I stayed there for about 2.5 hours. Oh, you're fine, Lovey. I actually just got done letting my dogs in. So he did really good. He made it to his team made it to the finals. I did not talk to my niece. That would be really cool to find out, though, if both of their teams were in the finals. Like, that ideally, that would be great. Lovey, I've never once hidden who I am. I'm trans. That's it. I'm not fooling anybody. No kidding. I'm literally living my life. That's it. Hey, Hannah. Good morning, Lovey. Best part about having cats. I think I have had two cats. The one that I had was the one that initially started issues for me. But then I ended up getting another one, and then he was actually an indoor-outdoor cat. It has been a minute. I have been good. Due to some circumstances that I have on my my stories, I'll let that speak for itself. I had to find alternatives to go live. Which I do have a link in the bio. That'll take you to, like, everything else. But yeah, it has been a minute. I'm doing good. Well, for me, I actually found the particular cat that I had. Not that I ever laid claim to him actually being my cat. He was a stray. I found him as a stray. I I did everything medically for him that needed to be done. I made sure that he had his vaccines and all that other fun stuff. And then I just kind of let him be. I set it up to where he essentially had a way in and a way out. Nothing else had a way in and a way out. And that was pretty much it. So I kind of let him be him, but I just made sure I took care of him and he had a place to stay at night. Yeah, no, it was not initially like my baby. I have been very adamant when I've had conversations with my wife, I will not own a cat. I will not. My own trauma-based issues will not let me own a cat. Trust me, if my wife had it her way, I would probably have at least one. And I think that's a lot of it, but when it goes from you sleeping peacefully at night to something wrapping itself around you and trying to cut off said oxygen, it kind of leaves a stain, So again, that doesn't mean that I won't ever have one in my presence. Like, don't get me wrong, my next door neighbor leaves quite often, and I go over there and I feed her cats and I feed her dogs and I make sure I let the dogs out and all that other fun stuff. I do all that. It's not that I don't do that. Just for me, I'm not really... Don't get me wrong. I got 3 ferrets. I got 2 dogs. I've had everything else you can think of, from snakes, lizards, so on and so forth. I've had just about every legally domesticated animal that you could have in Michigan. Yes, and I know a lot of what I just listed off is not everybody's favorite. Hey, Dustin. And trust me, there's a lot of things that I just listed that are not my wife's favorite. That's why I didn't get rid of them because of my wife, but I don't have them anymore, as far as purchasing more pets. Pet raccoon. My great aunt had a pet raccoon. This is the same woman that also had a pet skunk and also had a pet goose. Another person living their life. Oh, you almost had one in Tennessee? You know, I think I'm going to go a little, not really old school, because these palettes aren't even a year old. But I think I'm just going to stick with Arise Cosmetics today. That sounds good. Except for the moisturizer. I don't have Arise Cosmetic moisturizer. I love the idea of having a pet raccoon. The closest thing that I've had to that lately is I had a opossum in my ferret's outside play area that I put them out. Went out there one day and I'm like, are all the ferrets inside? And my wife's like, yeah, why? I'm like, because that's a tail. and I went out there, and actually I've got, I'd have to go into the archives and dig that out, but I think I have an actual video of me, capturing the possum, and releasing, maybe it wasn't releasing him, but I know I have pictures of him in a cat crate, and I know I have a recording of actually catching him. So I got to dig that up, and I've got to post that. But yeah, that was a fun little experiment. We still never figure out how he got in. Okay? And that's the thing. If you ever had ferrets or you've ever looked into having ferrets, okay? They are small. And they're also a lot smaller than you think they are because they can compress their body. And mainly what you see is the fluff, which makes them appear bigger than they actually are. And I have a female ferret, which for female ferrets, females are a lot smaller than the males. By probably more than half as far as smaller. So the fact that she can't get out, and trust me, Popcorn is her name, she is essentially Houdini in the ferret world. Exactly. So the fact that she can't get out, but somehow a possum got in, is still baffling. Because she will literally parkour to the far end of the enclosure. Which is why I have secondary and third, almost hanging racks that go the opposite way. So even if she grabs onto them. Yeah. I would have to showcase that at some point in time. I think I did a really long time ago on this account. But but what I did is I fully enclosed the front porch with ferrite metal mesh all the way around. And then I have a 1x6 that goes above that. So that way, even if they do climb on top of the gate, they still can't reach the next point to go up from there higher. Welcome back, Nutty. So like it's all proofed and everything, and then on the upper portions to keep out the birds and stuff like that, I have it's like work mesh around it. So like you typically see that when somebody's working on an area or they have it temporarily enclosed. So it's like a plastic polymer based. I don't freaking know. I bought the stuff from Home Depot. That's all I know. And I wrap that around the porch. Yeah, for sure. At some point in time, I actually got to go in and I've got to power wash it. You know, all the poo. But yeah, I essentially went around and I secured it all. Now they can't freely go out there. I have to take them from the giant dog crate and then let them out. So I let them out during the day. I give them their food, their water, and then before it gets too dark out, I then bring them back inside. So they're secure at all times, and we only let them out when we're home. But essentially that allows them to free roam and just have a good time. You know, and then we have the noodles that they play in and all kinds of other fun stuff. One point in time or another, I had an idea to design a outside heated box. But that was just something that never ended up into fruition. Because it's in front of the house. You don't want to do anything that's overly tacky. You know, I do live in a trailer park, but it's not run by any governing body, any way, shape, or form. So there is no limit on like how many vehicles. There's no HOA. But it's just one of those things, like, I would like my house to at least have some curb appeal. So that's why we ended up going in the way we did. Okay, if you feel that way. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm trans, so thanks for the compliment. I get what they were trying to do there. Yeah, no, that was one thing that I was lucky on. Like my in-laws have lived here forever. They're actually the ones that seen that the house was up and ready for sale. They helped me purchase it. I'm still working on paying them back, but we own it outright. Like at this point, now it's just me paying back the in-laws. You know what I mean? Yeah, so they seen it, so they kind of knew the history of the place and what work had been done, or at least they assumed what work had been done. So, obviously, because it's an older trailer, I've been replacing flooring here and there when it needs to be replaced. Nutty, you enjoying yourself? So yeah, no, that's definitely something I will, actually, I think I even have the original video of when I was first installing it, because my wife was just amused with it. I know, Lovey. Don't forget, though, like, there's other avenues and ways that you can contact me. Yeah, that's the problem. And the way that we have it set up here now is that everybody in the park has to come together to vote on it. Um, and most everybody around here is like, um, okay, Lovey. And most everybody around here is like, no, we don't want that. Uh, because there's a lot of different people around here that like my father-in-law. I will out the man. He has a Sanford and Son vibe, um, in his front lawn. He has, I want to say, he at least has he has an international. I don't remember what year it is to save my life. He has an international that's been in his garage for probably 7 years. He's been working on, which is fine. It's perfectly fine that a man has a project in a garage. That's perfectly fine. But it's the other four vehicles that are sitting on his property with no titles, no insurance, no tags, no nothing on it. Um, which is great when he comes to me and he's like, "Oh, your lawn needs tending to," and I'm like, "Yeah, and yours needs to go to the recycling." So that is his nickname for all intents and purposes, is Fred G. Sanford. Um, that is a bit of a dated show, but for those that get it, and those that don't, well, you're kind of out of the loop. Um, but it's one of those things that he's like, yeah, never mind, let's not talk about my yard. Yes, Nutty, I need my lawn cared for. um, so, um, it's just one of those things that, in a very general sense, we kid back and forth, but he's just one example. There is plenty of other people. Like, there's a guy that lives like 3 houses down that has essentially they're monster trucks. I mean, they're mudding trucks. He likes to go mudding often. He's got two of them in rotation, and those things are frigging huge. They're taller than this trailer. Okay, Nutty. um, so like he's working on those. That's why a lot of times I stop going live on Sundays, because that's all you could hear is vroom, vroom, all the time. And he's just tinkering. Like, I get it. There's nothing wrong with tinkering. But that's just one of the reasons I don't go live Sunday anymore. That is not where I intended on putting that. But yeah, it's just HOAs are nice to a certain extent, but it gets to that point where like now you're interfering with the way that I live my life. That's not okay. So yeah, I was more than happy to move into this trailer park because there is no HOA. I know, Nutty. I know. So how did everybody's week go, though? I mean, I know I still went live the days that I went live, and technically the only thing that people ended up missing was, I think, 2 lives. Yeah, because this account ended up not being accessible on Thursday. So there was Saturday and there was Tuesday, and I was on the other one those days. So if you're not following, links in the bio. Oh, thank you, Levy. This week did go by fast. I will definitely agree with you on that. And I think a lot of that is, hey, Coco. I think a lot of that is because of the fact, like, this week is my daughter's, well, technically tomorrow is my daughter's last day of school. Next year she's in the 6th grade. And tomorrow isn't even really a full day for her. We could actually take her home right after the ceremony. Summer vacation! I mean, of course, I'm looking forward to summer vacation, but a lot of why I'm looking forward to summer vacation is because Juno will be up here in 3 weeks. So, I'm excited about that. Don't get me wrong. My daughter is extremely excited because, well, who doesn't want almost 3 months off of school? I mean, that's essentially vacation. Now, what I didn't actually want to do, but I used the wrong brush for it. That's okay. Not that it's going to matter that much. There we go. Take some of that out of there. Make sure the area is dry again. Okay, let's actually use the right brush this time. So, any big plans for this weekend for anybody? Y'all got quiet. Thank you all for the taps. I appreciate that. I'm doing good, Lovey. How are you? How's your Thursday going? Oh, Lovey, I'm sorry. That is unfortunate when any of who I would consider to be family has to go, especially if it's something that's unexpected or something that's out of our control. I am truly sorry for your loss. Oh, I'm sorry, Dustin. Yeah, I've been dealing with stuffiness, and it feels like right in here's a lot of pressure. And I went to the doctors, and they're like, nothing, maybe seasonal allergies, and I'm like, okay, I've never had seasonal allergies before, but okay. Just been running with the vitamin C. Which is typically what I do anyways. I usually look to the vitamins. Where is... There it is. Go with the Meraki a little bit. My daughter had similar issues as you're having, Dustin. And for my daughter, though, she had a slight ear infection. And actually, because of that, the antibiotic she was on, they ended up canceling her eye surgery. So that is unfortunately canceled until, I think, mid-summer vacation, which is a bummer. That's kind of why we wanted to get it done the day we got it done. So that way she was only out for the summer for 2 weeks, not 3. Hey, Bella. How are you doing this morning, Levy? Good morning. You didn't miss much this morning yet, love. I actually couldn't go live until essentially 8:40. I'm doing good. Doing good. Just putting on a little bit of makeup for y'all today for some content. It's Thursday, so 6 miles walk. I've had my own little issues with the treadmill. Wanting to time out, which wasn't a huge deal before because I was walking at a slower pace. But now that I've picked up pace, I'm able to get like 4 miles in consecutively before the machine turns off. Thank you, Andy, for sharing the live. Good morning, neighbor. How are you doing today there? Beautiful. Good morning. So yeah, fortunately, I am here today. I just had to show up a little later. Because essentially the appeal that I had to time out. Lorelex, good morning. I hope you have a good weekend. Thank you for the heart, me, Livy. Thank you so much. Trail maintenance is always beautiful. Trail maintenance. Oh, is that what you're working on today, Lovey? Or is that the plans this weekend? This eyelid is so much smaller than the other. Your body stretched? They knock people out for that? Oh, cool. Hey, not only is that good to do, but it's also great exercise. I like maintaining spaces like that. Enjoy yourself. Hopefully it's good weather. Wow, I have never heard of that until now. Well, I hope it goes well. Now, what is that designed to do to help just so your body is naturally relaxed and you don't tense up while they're doing the stretching and all that other stuff for you? Hey, here's one thing that I know as far as the medical field grow. As far as the medical field goes, they're always improving. They're always realizing different techniques, different solutions. It's gonna be like that forever. Every time they learn something new, they figure out new ways to apply it. Some of it obviously is complete hogwash, but yeah, no, don't be breaking nothing. No. The idea by going to that is feeling better, not coming out worse, okay? Hey, kiddo. Morning. How's that first of 2 days off? Is it treating you good? You're fine, lovey. Whenever you can make it, you can make it. If you can't, then that's okay too. Okay, good. Now, how long has this process been around? Because, like, it does make sense. Because, like, for me, when I go and I do, I go in and I see a specialist and they stretch and they do all that other stuff, like, there's like, okay, take it easy, breathe through it. So it does make sense where you being out, your body essentially would be limp. Therefore, you wouldn't be tensed up. You have 3 days off now? That's a whole extra 24 hours. What you gonna do with that, girl? What you gonna do with that? That sounds like full-on weekend plans for me now. Oh, 3 kittens. Okay, we went from talking about... Okay. I was talking about how your days were going off. You're like, oh, I've got 3 kittens. Oh, nice. Well, it definitely sounds like a good stretch. Okay. Bring a little bit more shine into this somehow. And no, once again, before somebody asks, where am I going with the makeup theme? No clue. This is the top that I'm wearing today. I got regular walking shorts on and gonna do my 6 miles and look like this. Hey Zoe, good morning. Well, hopefully you do, Levy. If you take her to the movies, what movie are you getting to watch? Lorelex, I'm sorry about that. It's never fun having bad experiences because just approaching life after a bad experience is just, it's different. Yeah, I mean, I feel that way basically. Thank you for the heart, me lovey. I feel that way essentially by anybody. Like when I find a good one, I stick with that one. It's really hard when either they retire or something unfortunate happens and they stop practicing or something like that. Throws everything off. But a lot of that is because I'm a creature of habit. Yeah, I know, Lovey. I feel the same way. I get a lot of anxiety going, especially when I know I've got a surgical procedure and stuff like that coming up. It's more like, hurry up and get here so I can hurry up and get it over and I can hurry up and start the healing process. Yeah, and I bet you that's stressful trying to find somebody that's in your area. Ooh, that burns. I love when this happens. Heck, this very thing happened to me. Happened to me and Andy. It's just like, really? You're in Michigan? Where are you at in Michigan? Come to find out, we're like 45 minutes away from each other. That's what I love about apps like this. Because before online, a lot of times we wouldn't even venture out of our own areas, and come to find out we've got friends and people we have stuff in common with that live 45 minutes down the road. Yeah. Trust me, I did not realize the amount of friends on here that are extremely close until like I started going live more often. Because it's one of those things, unless you happen to be talking about the area that you're living in, nobody knows anything about anything as far as areas and all that other stuff go. Oh, thank you for the follow, Lovey. Thank you for the gift. Oh, no, trust me, I am not a pro. I just happen to look like a pro because there's nobody else in a box with me. Quite often, I'm usually the runner up if there's just two up here. Sometimes I show up in third place. There's three up here. Mediocre at best. No, thank you. Today is definitely an interesting adventure because you can ask my usuals in here. This is not a look that I've done yet. Anyways, I'm trying to venture out of my comfort zone. Sometimes it goes well, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, I love you. Mwah. Have a good appointment, and I will talk to you later. Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of bold looks. You can go through my content and look. I'm trying to get it to the point where I do makeup every other day, and I wait for it when I'm live, unless I'm going to some kind of special event or a date night that my wife has set up. And then I kind of like do an all-out thing. But I don't do full face of makeup. I just typically focus on the eyes. Sometimes I add a little shimmer in this area here, and lips. Other than that, I don't do head to toe makeup. There's nothing wrong with it. I have a lot of friends on here that do that. I also have some friends on here that do a lot of creative work. So we're kind of all different skill levels, you know? Honestly, 8 months ago, I don't even think I would have gotten to the point where I was applying makeup. Until a friend of mine was like, well, I'm going to buy a palette. You're going to use it. Which was the moment in time. So I started off using this. And then I slowly ventured out and I got some more. She is a good friend. She would like me to start doing full face makeup. And it might be a thing where we do some kind of tutorial to some extent when she is up here. In about 3 weeks. And she has seen me attempt it a couple of times, and she's like, okay, you're almost there. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not really liking it. Yes, a step at a time. And for me, like, I realized, like, I really like lipstick. So for the Arise Cosmetic brand itself, I made sure that I went through and I ordered every single one of their lippies. So I got the 3 lip glosses, I got all of the liquid lippies, and then I got all of the all of the hard lipsticks. Black and red. Those are typically my go-tos. You will see a lot of those looks in my content. But again, I'm trying to venture out of that. There are a lot of times that I do use red or darker lippies. But that's my favorite color combination. My favorite color itself is red. Hey, Krista. So, you know, like, for this one today, I'm probably going to go with... Where is it? Probably going to end up going with Fika for the lips. Mwah. I will see you later, lovey. Thank you for stopping in and hanging out with me this morning. But I got all kinds of stuff. I've got some pinks, some other reds. I've got some purples that are lippies. Rise Cosmetics pretty much covers a whole lot of everything. Thank you. This is my natural hair color. All the rest of this is all bleached in different color dyes and everything else. I'm just trying to... Hi, Ashley Day! I'm just trying to get to that point where I'm back to the natural hair color. But right now I do like the transitional color thing I got going on here. Yes, all the things. All the things. But it's probably been a year and a half since I've sat at my natural hair color. So I'm like, I'm just going to let it go. And this is the perfect color to fade. Because this was Arctic Fox bleach. And then I hit it with the... I hit it with this red. And then that faded out. Obviously, it faded out here even more. But it's really close to my natural hair color. So it's just one of those things where it's just going to be a hairstyle that just goes through its color transition. Hi, Ashley Day. How are you doing, lovey? I'm sure you're starting to get all antsy and jittery. Wait, is that my last skip? That can go bye-bye. Hold on. No, that subscriber section, I'm not... I wish I could shut that off. I don't... To be completely honest, I don't want any subscribers. For a couple of different reasons. One being I don't want to have to make a whole nother type of content just for a specific group of people. I make the content that I make, and that I like the fact that I can share it with everybody. But to each his own. I'm doing good, lovey. Finally, first day back on this page, because the appealing process doesn't work anymore. So I literally had to wait for it to time out for me to be able to access and utilize it. Okay. Where is... Hey, Angela. How are you doing this morning, beautiful? Ashley Day, how is the anxiety level going, lovey? Good morning. Oh, really? Hey, Tabs. Judging by the profile picture, the look turned out really good last night. Thank you for the heart, me. Up most of the night, getting up late to make me feel late is making me feel terrible. Angela, what's going on? What's keeping you up at night, girly? Hey, Samantha. I hope the kids and the husband are doing good. Good, Tabitha. I'm glad. it looked really good last night. I was kind of bummed out that I was getting really tired and that I needed to go to bed. I would have loved to sit in there and watch you continue doing that. Good morning. How's the husband and the girls? Ooh, vacation. I know that Rose is looking forward to her summer break. She is bummed out that next year is a whole new school. She'll be going to middle school, but she is excited that this year's over with. I'm sorry, Levy. Well, I am here if you need somebody to talk to, but I totally get it if you're trying to go solo on it. I know, right? It's just like when I went and got her height done. There is no way. They're trying to say that she's freaking 5'3.5". And I'm like, she's growing up too quick. She is growing up far too quick. Yeah, I know, Angela. I'm sorry, Lovey. Sometimes I wish the Sandman was a little more generous, you know? Yeah. I'm sorry, Lovey. But remember, you make him proud every day. You know that, right? Ooh. Yep. And make no mistake, he's keeping an eye out for you. Believe that. Okay, so the only bit of product that I'm getting into that is not Arise Cosmetics is from Drake. Just because Arise Cosmetics does not have an eyeliner. Otherwise, I would be using that. But that's okay. I've got quite a bit of Drake products, more so lip oils, but I definitely enjoy my Arise cosmetics. I know, Lovey. Hopefully, the next time I go live, I will have another piece of jewelry. Exactly. I do forget about that. And I don't mean to. But that's right. Your daughter lives in Michigan. Ugh. Well, I am sorry that I missed you live. I would have helped them find the door. I don't know why X has got to be doing that, but X's be X's. That never made sense to me, though. But Zoe, I get it, because, and my wife will actually tell you this because it irritates her. I don't contact my exes; they contact me. Yeah, well, that just means that they can watch you from afar. I know, Angela. I do the same. I I mean, you've all seen my content. There are times where I'm good, and there's times where I'm not, and I just gotta process through that. You know what I mean? But I look at it this way, and I've brought it up to people this way as well. Um, that shows that my content is genuine. Now, granted, I'm not saying that my content is what people like, but my content is genuine. Um, I've never been one of those people. I mean, there are those times where I'm going through something, and because I'm going through that something, and depending on how sensitive it is, I won't post anything. Um, so usually there are those times where, and I know I've accidentally, thank you, Lovey. I appreciate you. You know, there is those times though where I I take my time. I need space. There are those times for that. And I utilize those times. And I know I've accidentally frightened a few of you because of that. I do apologize for that. That is not what I am intending on doing. But there's times where you got to take time for yourself. Um, and it's not to be intentionally undermining in any way, shape, or form. Um, just sometimes you need to take that time to feel those feelings. And that's what a lot of people don't understand is when I do take that time, I'm not outsourcing to a third party person, okay? It's not like I stop talking to you all because I'm talking to a whole different group of friends. When I need that time to breathe and go through whatever I'm going through, I very much separate from everybody. Now, there are times where it gets to the point where I am ready to reach out, and I do. I typically reach out to the friends that I'm extremely close with. But even when I do that, there's maybe a 2-hour buffer in between me talking to them or me messaging them and explaining like what I'm going through to where I actually start to re-interact with all of you. You know, I'm kind of an all or nothing type of person. And it's definitely not meant to be intentional. It's just when I reach my max of what I can take, I've reached it. Okay. Need to get some more of this liquid Band-Aid. Yeah. No, I get that. And that alone right there is exactly why I express to people it's okay if they miss my live. Like, I'm not looking. This is not some kind of really weird thing where I'm looking for devout followers for something or other. Like, it's not that. I'm just glad that it's gotten to that point where I can outright tell people, hey, this is when I'm going to be live. This is when you can expect me. This is when maybe not. For those of you that don't know, I split my nail this way from here across. So, liquid Band-Aid. It stings, but it keeps out infections. It's okay, Lovey. My messages are always open on everything that's the link in the BIO. All of those are places where you can see me and interact with me. Just like right here. I don't ever have my messages shut off. I don't. You could be a stranger and the message will still go through. So, hopefully if everything goes well on Friday, I'm supposed to be getting another piercing right there. That's my big plans for this weekend. And hopefully my wife will either be getting a tattoo touched up or getting a whole new tattoo. And while she's doing that, I will be finalizing my plans for my tattoo. Oh, good. We did have plans to do like a Zodiac thing. my wife's zodiac and mine maybe combined. But ultimately, I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, it's kind of like getting somebody's name tattooed. And I'm not going to sit there and spend the rest of my life, if something happens to my wife, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life going out of my way to look for somebody else that has the exact same birth month as my wife. Like, you know what I mean? So what we ended up deciding on was a key that my wife is going to design, and a keyhole. And that's going to be right at essentially right here. So, obviously, I have my overall ideas of it. For her, she is going to get with the individual that's going to be doing the tattoo, and she's going to be designing the base of the key. Yeah. Oh, I'm fully aware that that's not exactly um, a non-painful place. Thank you, Lovey. That's really good to hear. Thank you for the follow. That's all I really want to do is make somebody's day. That right there in a nutshell is why I'm here, to let other people know that being here is being here. Hi, Lovey. Being a safe place for people is my main goal of being here. And it really gets me over. Thank you all for completing my goal. It helps build my confidence as far as like standing up and doing makeup and stuff like that. I was never the kid in school that would stand up and I would read from a book. Never good with that. Not that I couldn't do it. It just, being shy is being shy. So one, it's a confidence booster for me. And two, I really wanted to make sure that there was a place where everybody could enjoy themselves and be comfortable being themselves. And not have to worry about being ridiculed in the chat. Because there are some content creators that they don't care what happens down here. They don't care. I do. Not necessarily with what happens with me, but what happens with you all. Because that a lot of times is what happens. I know what I signed up for by standing here in front of you all. I know the possible ridicule. I know that some random person will pop in at any point in time and start throwing a bunch of stuff at me for no apparent reason. I signed up for that. but you all didn't sign up to be picked on in the chat just for being here. Oh, good. Yeah, I didn't see that. Otherwise, I would have popped in and said hi. But I applaud anybody that's willing to get up in front of the camera. That takes a lot. You know, it's not exactly easy to do. Yes. Yep. So I do believe you have to go live for at least 30 minutes, which I did find out that is not something that had to happen all at the same time. Bare minimum, like you did. But for me, I try to bare minimum go live for 25 minutes. The very first time that I went live was actually the 4th of July last year. That was just before I was at 1,000. They give you like a preliminary access. So you had like 100 days to get the 1,000 followers that you needed. And again, this is back then. I think you can have almost a brand new account and go live. Yeah, so that is what I did. I had it set up to where my live was in the window. I had it set up so I could flip it back and forth. And so essentially I was distracted by the fireworks while I was live. Yeah, I got all kinds of this, that, and the other thing because I didn't know how to set up filter words. I was new to going live, so therefore your live immediately gets pushed out to a lot more people. Unlike now, my lives have it doesn't get pushed out by the algorithm anymore. It doesn't this, that, and the other thing because I've had it for so long now. So for all intents and purposes, I don't have to worry about it running amok. Because the only people that I really get in is either people that are openly looking for people like me, or it's my regulars. It's the people that are following me that are coming back in. Rare occasions, first thing in the morning, I will hit the FYP. That doesn't last for very long. That is usually when my moderators have to be moderators more so than the rest of the live. But I do appreciate all of the time that I was able to spend with you all today. Again, I do apologize that the account ended up having that issue. I'm glad that issue is resolved. Granted, they still didn't do their job. It got resolved because it timed out. Actually, I did forget my mascara. Hi. Okay, little mascara. Might as well make a video for Rise Cosmetics. So I'll go ahead and I'll add a necklace. Normally on days that I walk, I don't worry about necklaces or hanging jewelry or any of that stuff because it typically gets in the way. But as always, lovies, be the positive person that the world needs today, not the positive person that it needs tomorrow. Enjoy your day. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. The next time that I will be live is Saturday. Y'all, I appreciate it. Y'all, you know you don't have to do that. All right, bye. Mwah. Love you all. So what'd you do? Gift them all at the same time? It's still counting. Bye, Ryan. Oh, no, I think that says Renee. I'm sorry, I pronounced your name wrong. That was not intentional, although yours was intentional. Mwah. Love you all.